I recently heard about a teacher who had given her elementary school students an assignment to draw a picture. If you could be anything in the world at all, she said, what would you be? And so the students, they drew their little pictures and then they turned them in, and she was going through them, and they were funny little pictures. But then she came to one that surprised her a little bit. A student had drawn a picture of a cell phone. She thought that was a little strange. So she called the student up to the desk and said, why did you draw a picture of a cell phone? He said, why do you want to be a cell phone? And he said, well, because if I were a cell phone, then my parents would pay attention to me. They would hold on to me, and they would love me, and they wouldn't even be upset if I accidentally interrupted them from time to time if they were in the middle of a conversation. That little boy felt like nobody was paying attention to him. And I bet there are times in your life where you felt maybe the same thing, kind of alone, that nobody's paying any attention to you. And if you have, then I want to point out one little detail about this story about the rich man and Lazarus. Lazarus' name, the name of the beggar, his name was Lazarus. What was the name of the rich man? We don't know. He doesn't have a name. God doesn't call him by name. He calls him by what he loved, the rich man. He loved wealth more than anything. That's how he defined his life, so that's how God defined his life. But Lazarus, he knew by name. There's a passage in the book of Isaiah, Isaiah chapter 43, where God says the same thing about you. He says, don't be afraid. Do not fear. I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. And how did that happen? How did he redeem you? How did he summon you by name? There's a little tidbit in Luke chapter 16. After the rich man is asking Abraham to send Lazarus down to hell to comfort, to give him some relief from his agony, Abraham answers, he says, between us and you, a great chasm has been fixed, so that those who want to go from here, from heaven to you, cannot, nor can anyone cross over from there, from hell, to us. There's a chasm that nobody could cross, but the way that we were redeemed, the way God called us by name, is because Jesus crossed the chasm. He crossed the chasm to suffer hell for all the times that we have forgotten to call out God's name in our time of trouble, for all the times that we have forgotten that the beautiful name of forgiven children of God is what he gives us, that we get to live with. He suffered hell for that, to assure you that he really will go that far to care for the needs of those whose names he already knows. Do you have questions about God, about the Bible, about prayer, about any number of topics that the Bible addresses? We have a helpful resource for you. It's a book called More Straight Talk, written by Pastor Mark Jeske. If you click on the link in this post to make a one-time donation to our ministry, you will receive a free copy of this book. And if you set up your donation to be a monthly recurring donation, you will become one of our Grace Partners, and Pastor Mark Jeske will sign a copy of the book and send that to you. Thanks for considering giving to our ministry in this way. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.